This is not the beer you are looking for. Unless, of course, you are looking for a 12% heavily adjuncted barrel-aged stout, then this is totally the beer you are looking for. Yes, welcome back to the channel with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bottles here on a bar, or I'm still darkly calling the Disco Arms. And once again, happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And yes, I know I already did that joke on a video a good 18 months ago when I looked at this beer before. No, not this beer exactly, but the original version of this beer. This is the barrel-aged version of Pulpatine from Turning Point Brew Co. and Emperor Brewery. And it is their Peach, Plum and Charred Nectarine Imperial Stout, the Bourbon Barrel Aged version. This video here in 2023 I did was the original version of this beer. As always, they set some aside. Turning Point have a really good, really big barrel aging program up in the warehouse in the brewery in Knaresborough in Yorkshire. And obviously it's a brewery I've talked about a fair bit. Got the merch. One of my favourite breweries. And I go to them a lot, especially for some adjuncted stouts. Helped on this one by the ever massive Imperial beer fans, Emperors Brewery, who are based, I believe, a kind of Nottinghamshire, but Cuckoo Brewing and travelling around a fair bit, doing quite a lot of collabs with various breweries, both here and overseas. And this one is one, as I say, I looked at before, and I thought I'd come back for the barrel-aged version. I didn't mean to leave it this long. I was going to do it last year, and then, as always with my beer videos, I never quite got around to it. So, for Star Wars Day this year, I thought I'd get into a glass and see if I can see any differences. If you haven't watched the original video, I watched it this afternoon just to have a look at this before I did this video. So I'm going to go back and compare and contrast, see what I can find, if there's any different or if it is as good accidentally as I say aged. It is 12%, so it will probably sit there perfectly fine, I would imagine. Let's see what we can get. Thought it was going to go everywhere on the opening, but that might be because I've wafted it around a bit in front of the camera already. Got the big glass, once again the same glass as I did the original version in, just for kind of completeness. Won't be getting it all in, but it will be one to sip and savour once I've done the review. So I've put it in the Mad Squirrel glass, the big Teku. I don't use it very often, except when I get big beers out like this, only on the basis I've never got around to getting an Emperors Brewery glass. And I smashed my Turning Point glass. So there we go. That's what it looks like in the glass. Not quite as gloopy as I remember. Not quite as oily thick as I think I said on that video. Of course, loving the can art with fairly simplest but kind of space-ish kind of colours. And the two brewery logos and the beer information really nicely displayed on there. Hopefully the nose is playing ball today. There's some fruitiness on the nose, a little bit of roastiness and chocolate. Yeah, peach, plum, and charred nectarine beech smoked imperial stout. I said the last time I said I couldn't get much on that beech smoke, not much smokiness. Let's see what it is on the taste. Cheers, and as I say, happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Oh wow. Ooh. Yeah, every bit as good as I remember it the last time. To be fair, development doesn't last very long. I think it will go back up. There's a big fruitiness. First of all, definitely, definitely the kind of peachy nectarine kind of, yeah. But the freshy fruitiness, no kind of bittery stone fruit notes going on. I've often been a bit confused or not too sure about kind of heavily fruited stouts. This one just works. There's a nice fruit component, big sweetness, lovely spirity edge. You can tell the barrel aging in there. Strong for sure, but absolutely not absolutely drinkable. I was going to say because it's not kind of out there either way. It's not like sipping on a whiskey. There's just a barrel aged spirity edge to it rather than being proper in your face kind of whiskey like notes. I'm not a big fan of whiskey. People have tried to get me into it. I find whiskey generally too harsh and abrasive, bourbon or straight scotch or whatever. But that is really nice. There's a developing sticky sweetness to it. Kind of, it's not quite as oily as I remember, or voluptuous or unctuous. It is. It feels a bit thinner, but not watery. Just spirity. There's the plum. There's the kind of sweet, plummy note coming in amongst a little bit of brown sugar, kind of that sort of raspiness, slightly. Yeah, it's not velvety smooth, but it is kind of oily smooth and soft in the mouth. With all those lovely flavors kind of sparkling around it. I do tend to get sometimes, I think, a little bit poetic with these kind of things. I don't mean to. I just say exactly what I see, what trips off the tongue. And with this one, there really is a lot to talk about. Yeah, lovely, lovely fruit notes. Feels like all sorts of other fruits in there as well. Yellowstone fruits, like feels like a bit of apricot. Definitely like peach nectarine. There's almost a little bit of kind of mango. I think I said on the last one I was getting kind of pineapple cubes. Not quite so much of that, but there is just a sort of bunch of non-specific. I don't want to say nondescript because it is very, very prominent on the fruit. Initially, I say there's a fruit note, and then the sweetness comes in. I think I've said before. I'm not sure if it was about this beer or another one, but actually tasted like grilled. There was a beer coming on that tasted like grilled pineapple specifically because you got that charring, that kind of sugar development. This one is, I guess, can you barbecue a peach and an apricot and a plums? But there's that sugar kind of charring, but without any smokiness. Says, yeah, it says beech smoked Imperial Stout. Yeah, don't really get the beech smoke. It's not a problem. I think, I don't know, with smokiness, like complicate it even more. It's fairly complex with all those distinct yet indistinct fruit flavors going on. Yeah, it's not velvety smooth, but it is oily smooth. Kind of, yeah, it's kind of going towards unctuous. Not a lot of chocolate. going on. Not even a lot of like sort of coffee, even in the bitterness. The bitterness isn't there. It's more sweet. I don't think it's too sweet. I've never found a stout that is too sweet, and I know some people do say things are too sweet. This isn't for me. This is just really, really nice, really lovely, very, very drinkable. You can notice the 12%. Oh, there's a bit of fizz to it as well, you know. Bear with me, just gonna do the photo. Really, really sticky. I just spilled a little bit there as I was pouring a bit more into the glass. It's kind of very, very sweet stickiness. It dissipates fairly quickly, but so drinkable. I should be sipping it, and I'm not. I'm going back more for more of that fruitiness, more of that spirity edge. A bit of brown sugar there. There was a little bit of kind of chocolate edge, kind of like chocolate biscuitiness. Little pops of fruit as well. Little kind of like pips of fruit going on. Um, mm. I'm not. Yeah, I said before in the last one, I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. I'm aware of the cultural significance and a few of the things, which is why one of the few lines I can remember is these are not the droids you're looking for. This is very much the sort of beer I'm looking for. I have to be careful with that 12%. Should be sharing it really, but yeah, I'm not sharing this. This is nice. This is nice. Has to be drunk at the right time. Um, Probably tonight is not the right time, but it's so nice. Any time is the right time for this. It's absolutely fabulous. Really enjoyed it. So drinkable, so well put together. Yeah, balanced across that fruit note, the sweetness, and that kind of stout. It's not necessarily rich and roasty. Um, the spirit and the fruit kind of takes away any kind of chocolate or biscuity note. It's just kind of there with obviously all the dark malts for a stout. It's got a little bit of chocolatiness, sweet chocolate, because it is so sweet and coats the lips oily like. Um, Really, really nice. Gonna have a quick look on the can, see what anything I've missed. It says brewed in collaboration with Emperors Brewery. The dark side of the beer is a pathway to many flavor combinations. Some consider to be unnatural. No, it's very, very natural. Peaches, plums, and charred nectarines all crammed into a deliciously decadent imperial stout made with beech smoked malt for additional complexity. Doesn't say what the hops are. I can't imagine it's that much. Oats in there. Yeah, plum, nectarine, peach. Let's have a quick look as I normally do on the lives. See if I can see the best before date on this one. Picked it up. I had to look back on Instagram for this. Picked it up in 2023, but it's a 12% Imperial Stout. It's going to be fine, isn't it? Here we go. Down the bottom here. Oh, a nominal best before date, and I think this is kind of yeah. They've just picked a date, so I got this. I picked this up in 2023. Best before 30th of August, 2024. As I say, I've said many times on lives and stuff like that when I've been drinking out of date beers because I've accidentally mostly aged them. This one, not really accidentally. I didn't mean to do it last May. I've done it. I've left it because I struggled with getting beer videos out last year in favour of the lives. Um, but yeah, I don't think it suffers because there's so much complexity to it, so many good flavours. Still trying to pick out all those fruits, but they're definitely there. And it's a really nice fruit chocolate ish note. I'm not so sure about decadent because it's not fluffy and creamy and milky or anything like that, but it is oily, smooth, and a really, really good flavour. Big spirity edge. Um, I'm not so sure about bourbon because I don't go around drinking bourbon that much either. So, um, but it's got a spirity note to it, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It's just lovely, really nice. I'm gonna sit back and yeah, think about that one. Maybe take some more photos, but that's just a really nice. It's an end of session beer. Probably should share it. It's a bit because of that spirity note. It's a big beer with lots of complex flavors, and yet so simple. Fruit, chocolate, oily, yeah, chocolatey goodness. Um, so yeah, sweetness. Yeah, not heavy on the chocolate, but chocolatey sweetness. There's always a little bit of honey there too. It feels like as well. Just delicious. Bearing in mind this is a 2023 beer, I wonder how many other cans are about. I wonder whether they'll do it again. I haven't seen anything about this year because Turning Point at this time of year all about the birthday beers, the custard beers. Um, it's a sort of beer you'd release just before May the 4th for Star Wars Day because it's brilliant. Whether they do it every year or not is another matter, but it's a beautiful, delicious beer. If you've got any cans of this left, do let me know because I have. I've got another can, so gonna age it out a little bit further and see what else she does. I might not review the second one, but yeah. Do you remember this one? Have you got cans of it left? Do let me know. What do you think? And in the meantime, yeah, happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Hopefully, I'll get this video out on time. Yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful beer from some breweries who know what they're doing with big stouts. Very, very sticky. But yeah, I've been disco of, well, I'm now calling just disco beer reviews for this one. Note the name change. Don't know whether I'll change it back or not or whatever. But what a lovely, lovely beer. Really nice. So yeah, have a great Star Wars Day. If that bothers you at all. If not, enjoy the beers until the next one. Cheers and enjoy the beers. Believe enough to lose control. I could lose control with that beer so easily. That's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Cheers.